Hey everyone, Sarah here, author, speaker, and advocate. This week I want to talk a little bit about addiction and how we are all actually natural addicts. So I wanted to talk a little bit about addiction in the stereotypical sense of what society views as an addict, as well as reframe this thought process a bit to show you how we all have addictive tendencies and quote unquote addictive personalities, and how this plays into the trauma cycle. So, oftentimes, when we're in the middle of trauma, addiction is triggered in our brain naturally and makes us unable to move beyond what is occurring in our present everyday lives that is leading to feelings of worthlessness and despair, depression, and anxiety. So oftentimes we actually inadvertently become addicted to our abuser or to the situation that we're in. And when this happens, it's commonly called Stockholm syndrome. You'll often see it coupled with battered women syndrome. Basically, the victim stagnates and is unable to move forward. So the brain's coping mechanism is to actually become addicted to the situation or behaviors that are occurring. So addiction plays a part in trauma very early on, and then it just is it's natural for addiction to stick with us even as we finally escape these circumstances and we're now living in the aftermath of trauma. So a person can become addicted to a wide variety of things, and there's always the stereotypical drug and alcohol abuse, sex, gambling, eating too much, spending too much time on social media or on our devices. There's a lot of different things that the media has really hyped up about addiction. And yes, these are all addictions and they all are very detrimental. Obviously, if we have one of these tied to us, then we know that we need to work on that and move into recovery. However, there is a very simple reason why we are all natural addicts, and we all become addicted to different things, whether it's these common addictions or other things, factors in our lives. So, and this is because our brain naturally craves dopamine. So dopamine is a chemical that's released in the brain anytime we're engaging in an activity that induces happiness, excitement, joy, any of these other positive emotions. And it's the brain's natural response to this. So it's a chemical that's released, and unfortunately, it's not sustained for a long period of time. And this is why the addict will go back time and again to this person, place, or thing in order to refuel the addiction. So when we reframe, the subject of addiction a little bit, we realize that, we can suffer from a wide variety of addictions. And what we need to do to move past some of these addictions, if they're unhealthy, is to focus on healthier versions. So basically what we can do is we can induce positive behaviors and actions into our lives that can replace any negativity. So we can also release dopamine in the brain by engaging in healthy, positive activities such as exercising. We can stimulate this with different foods in our diet naturally, and these are good for us foods, so they're fruits, vegetables, nuts, and things that we should be consuming anyway. Dopamine can also be released by engaging in positive activities such as, if you enjoy reading or writing or doing yoga or gardening, just different activities like that. And it can also be induced by social connection. So getting involved in groups in which we feel as if we're making a difference or making connections with others. This can all release the exact same chemical that is released when substance abusers or those with other unhealthy addictions crave when they engage in their addictions. So what we need to do is practice mindfulness and really center on how we're feeling post-trauma. And then we need to reconnect with ourselves and reflect on what makes us happy. And we can engage in healthy activities that will release the same brain chemical and help us live more healthily and fully moving forward. So I hope that was helpful. Have a wonderful week. Thanks.